So thank you for the opportunity to share this subject that I'm very passionate about. All right, so I am Julie Mark-Janik, and I am an in-home mental health counselor for Child and Family Services in Buffalo, New York. I work with both children and adults, and whenever possible, I do try to include children in my sessions. I am the mother of 2 adult children, and you'll see their pictures in this slide pretty soon, and I'm going to tell a story about one of them. And one of the things that I'm really excited about sharing is that I used to be a behavior specialist, and in that capacity, we use the nurtured heart approach to shift behaviors in intellectually developed adults who are participating in workshops and in their homes with great success. And the nurtured heart approach is the reason why I knew as soon as I took nurtured family training that nurtured families was going to work, and I couldn't wait to get out there in the field and do it.
Hi, I'm Leilani. I am a certified family peer advocate here in Buffalo, New York. I am very passionate about my job and working with parents and educating them. I'm also a mom of 7 children, 3 biological, 2 adopted, and we are finally waiting for an adoption date for the younger 2. And then I'm also a Mimi of 3 beautiful grandchildren that were on 2 slides prior. And I'm happy to be here.
Can't fight reality. Even if you never intended for children to join your sessions, there might be a day they're homesick, or school is out, or the parent couldn't get a sitter and they bring them to wherever. And so the children are there. So just let them, I'm going to give you some great tips for letting them in and making it work. And then the number one reason why I recommended, when you can, to include children is that when you do, you get to build and strengthen the nurturing relationship between the parent and the child right in the sessions. It happens right between your eyes, and you get to set your families up for success.
Nicole McGivney, or Nikki. Lots of people call me Nikki as well. So what's unique about me is that I'm certified in childbirth education and lactation education, in addition to being certified as a facilitator and an organizational trainer of nurturing families. So really that just means I have certificates, as you guys know, that I've done a little bit more education and studying in this particular field of childbirth and lactation. So I provide that support to our families as well. My heart and my passion really is working with prenatal families, because for the most part, they haven't experienced the challenges of parenting yet. And they're excited to start this adventure. And so it is an honor for me to come alongside of these families as they're starting their parenting adventure, and hopefully to get them started in a very positive way. And really thinking about how to build a healthy family, and what these basic blocks are in the early days and months and years of raising their family, how that can alter the trajectory in a positive way for their family and their children's health overall. So myself, I am very proud. I have 4. They are now adult children. That's a little bit of a knife to the heart for me. It feels like just yesterday they were little children, and today they are all grown up. So I don't call myself an empty nester. I am now trying to proudly say that I am a bird launcher. And so our last child just left in the fall for college. So it's just my husband and I and our little fur baby. So that's who I am. And I just want to share with you a little bit about my agency. and really why and how we started with prenatal. So I'm part of the Mom and Dad Project. My supervisor and coworker, Jeff, is also on this call. So he also is an amazing facilitator, and he is my partner in organizational training of nurturing families. This is really what I'm going over with you guys today, and my experience using nurturing families and specifically in prenatal care. So using it as the prevention and building blocks of healthy families. So you can read this. A lot of us probably are used to using nurturing families more as a treatment program for families who may already be involved in systems. And nurturing families prenatal use is really about prevention, and prevention at that most fundamental level, and to use it as healthy building blocks for
Thank you for having me back. We're going to talk about nurturing families in 0 to 3 and brain development, lesson 7.1. Who am I? I'm the Director of Community Programs at Walden Family Services. I hold a Master's of Organizational Leadership, a Doctorate of Ministry. I have been a state trainer and consultant for 4 years. I have been nurturing parenting families facilitator for 7 years. I love developing leaders. I love giving. I have been over 27 years in nonprofit work. I'm the founder of and CEO of Giving 365, my own nonprofit, JCK Families, my LLC. And I am so happy to be here with you all again. Objectives today is to increase our ability to promote healthy brain development in our children. So as we look at the actual structure of the brain, right? The prefrontal lobe, it's what we learn from, right? The emotional, I am loved, and then the brainstem, right? And so we know that the brain develops from the back to the front, right? And so we know the front part is that last part that is developed. And so when we always talk about, and I tease my team all the time, when our parents come in and they're teenagers and they're young, remember their brain hasn't developed. Remember the brain hasn't developed. And she talked a little bit about the size of the brain, right?
Among the most accomplished and fabled tribes of Africa, no tribe was considered to have warriors more fearsome or more intelligent than the mighty Maasai. It is perhaps surprising then to learn the traditional greeting that passed between Maasai warriors and how are the children. It is still the traditional greeting among the Maasai, acknowledging the high value that the Maasai always place on their children's well-being. Even warriors with no children of their own would always give the traditional answer, all the children are well, meaning, of course, that peace and safety prevail, that the priorities of protecting the young are in place, that Maasai society has not forgotten its reason for being, its proper functions and responsibilities. All the children are well means that life is good. It means that the daily struggles for existence do not preclude proper caring for their young. I wonder how it might affect our consciousness of our own children's welfare if in our culture we took to greeting each other with this daily question, and how are the children? I wonder if we heard that question and passed it along to each other a dozen times a day, if it would begin to make a difference in the reality of how the children are thought of or cared about in our own country. I wonder if every adult among us, parent and non-parent alike, felt an equal weight for the daily care and protection of all children in our communities, in our towns, in our states, and in our country. And I wonder if we could truly say without hesitation, the children are well. Yes, all the children are well.
Carrie Conlon. This is my 32nd year in the children's system of care. I'm almost 50 years old now. So that tells you I've only really known this model, these models, and this is my passion. And this is all I've known for my entire career. Sharing the experience of high fidelity wraparound has only been enhanced by learning the Nurturing Families curriculum. And I want to give also a gratitude and thank you so much for allowing me to present and being asked to present by Sonia and Mary. So thank you. Today we're going to connect the evidence-based model of high fidelity wraparound. That should not be a tearjerker. And the Nurturing Families curriculum. How they are individually, but when they are merged together, they're exceptional. So, that being said, let's move on. Data. That is what Sonia's doing right now, folks. She's gathering all of that data that's going to prove that this is highly successful, that based on your work, yours. The model for high fidelity wraparounds point and the reason why it's successful is that families stay together. The cost, it's so much more. This continues to be the backbone of this curriculum, and this is what's going to get this curriculum on the clearinghouse. So keep doing that good work, keep showing up, and keep doing this so we can use this curriculum for years to come. Nurturing Families is what brought us all here today, but these 7 steps are what going to bring us all together again tomorrow.
All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to talk a little bit about nurturing families and child welfare today. And I'll tell you a little bit about our program and just how we operate, and then give you some feedback from our perspective, and then maybe we can just share some as a group as well. All right. So I am Carrie Horn. I am currently the program manager for Travis County Office of Children's Services Family First. And I have worked in the child welfare realm for 18 years. I'm dating myself, right? But I started with Child Protective Services, did a little bit of risk assessments through child care licensing, did some family support services, and then now in this world, which was previously Children First and is now Family First. So I've just been absolutely in love with the curriculum for the last 9 years when we started providing it. And we were before not using any curriculum. So this was brand new, and I just fell in love with it from day one. We've been, I've been doing the parent education. We did a little bit of parent coaching in there. And then I did coordination of the program and now managing the program. But families who are involved in the child welfare system, they're working really hard to assimilate, right? There's a lot of programs, and all these programs are designed to help their families, is what they're told, right? But they might be struggling. There's a lot going on. And so that's one thing that I can say that I feel like we all have in common, right? We struggle in some area of life, but we can all look the same, right? Like everyone that liked picture 3, they might not have liked it for the same reason, but they liked that picture, right? So there's some commonality that's going to exist there. We can all be nurturing families, right? It might not look the same. It's probably not ever going to look the same for families. But we can give the tools, and the families can use these tools. And so for us, the number one priority is how to best meet these needs. So we define ourselves as nurturing families, right? We are nurturing families. We don't only use it with the families we serve, but we try and use it with our community partners as well. We use it with each other.
What I will be presenting on today is applying evidence-based practices to nurturing families program curriculum and measuring progress with the strengths and difficulties questionnaire. My name is Sarah Mosier. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I've been working at Child and Family Services. Actually, it'll be 22 years this month, and we're located in Buffalo, New York. So the reason why I wanted to do a review of some evidence-based programs was because what I found going through the Nurturing Family program is that we are already applying motivational interviewing, solution-focused techniques and therapy, and dialectical behavioral therapy strategies throughout the Nurturing Family program lessons. So solution-focused therapy in nurturing families is the first one that we're going to address. And it's a brief goal-oriented approach that helps clients focus on solutions rather than problems. But if you can really see, it has all the meat and potatoes of all the evidence-based practices that I've talked about today, and probably some that I'm missing even. So, and a lot of these three complement each other as well. So they're really, it really makes it easy when I'm working with our staff and for writing notes that are billable notes, because we do two of our programs bill Medicaid, and one program is funded through the Department of Social Services. So it's really important that we can do this great work and also keep our program going so we can do more of it. You know, there's so much of this throughout Nurturing Family program. It's really amazing when you really look at it. Like this family did all 16 competencies. So you could see quite a difference in their scores. It's pretty amazing. And then I also included some testimonials on the right from a couple families that I worked with. And one mother wrote, "The short answer is nurturing families and peer-to-peer. I soon realized most of the work or changes had to come from me." That was one of the most powerful things that I've heard. So another one was, "My participation and my families at times in the Nurturing Family program had changed my life, and as well as my children's for the better. Throughout the program, my ladies have been the strongest supports, understanding, kind, caring, and above all else, fabulous cheerleaders." And in certain families, it works out really well, as you can see. It's like amazing, like even to hear these things and know that a mother felt that she did it herself. It was her hard work that really did it.
So my name is Leslie Harrell, and I am the Community Engagement Manager for Truly Valued, and I'm also the Nurturing Families Program Facilitator, and now moving into training. So Truly Valued is a 501c nonprofit. The great thing is that our mission is to promote positive self-esteem and education through confidence and character building. And we have found this through our Nurturing Families program. Our goal is to create an environment of learning whereby our families get to learn and love themselves. It was through my experience that I learned about what community was all about. It is in this process that we get to be able to experience and to empathize with our families and encourage them in who they are. So because we are a part of nurturing families, and nurturing families is a part of who we are, we get to experience what some of our families go through. The majority of our families are given to us and assigned to us through SCC, through DCF, and the majority of them have already had their children taken away from them. We are now in the role of reconciling and reconnecting them through Nurturing Families program. So as we prepare our hearts and prepare for these tips and tricks of nurturing on that scale from 1 to 5, where are you right now in this very moment? And this is where we get to take time to really hear them. Not just go through the motions, but to hear what are your hopes in going through this program. It is not a parenting. We don't look at Nurturing Families as a parenting program. We look at it as a way of life. And I know some of us have a job to do, but when you have gone through this nurturing program over and over and over, if it does not affect you, something is going on. It's in us a heart issue. Nurturing is about building. It's about pouring into. So we become sensitive to the needs of the families that we serve. And we take it to heart because all of our families are truly valued. Our children are truly valued. So build a rapport. This is going to be who you are. It's going to be a part. If you take in this program, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your daily dialogue, wherever you are. But then it initiates a shared community. I love this picture because this is how at the beginning that you will be seeing. Some will come when we think of engagement, they will come fighting, kicking and screaming. They will come with their guard up because they've been through so much and so many people have told them how rotten they are as parents. But through the Nurturing Families program, we get to empower them that they should be open for change. It is not just another parenting class. In Sonia, we don't even say parenting anymore. Nurturing is a part of who we are. And this is where we have to get into our hearts as leaders, as facilitators, as training. We are nurturing, no matter where we are.
I'm really excited to get to present on this. This program has meant so much to us and to the program that we run and the families that we serve. So I'm really excited to get to tell you guys a little bit more about that today. So my name is Emily Garza. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I've been a family support specialist at the Children's Home of Lubbock for about 4 or 5 years now. I have more than 10 years of experience working with kids and families. I am a wife and a dog mom. And a cat mom too, so you guys have probably seen my critters off and on if you've seen my little thumbnail at any point. They are joining us for the training and loving it as much as I am. My hobbies include running, video, and board games with friends and recreational soccer.
My name is Dana Devine. I'm a licensed professional counselor supervisor. I'm the clinical director at the Children's Home of Lubbock, where we run this program. I'm certified in trauma-focused CBT. I am certified in EGALA, which is equine assisted therapy. I'm a registered play therapist supervisor, and I'm also trained in EMDR. I have more than 20 years experience working with children and families. I'm the mom of 2 grown daughters, and my hobbies are horseback riding, gardening, and I'm a cat mom to 3.
Awesome. So the goal of our presentation is to go over some of the basics of attachment theory and why attachment and bonding are so important, especially in our foster and adoptive families. We will cover why attachment is different in these families and how nurturing families is so effective at meeting the needs of this specific client population. Towards the end of our time together, we're going to discuss specific nurturing families lessons and home practice assignments that have been particularly impactful with our population. So when we say foster families, just know it's probably adoptive and kinship families as well. So saving and maintaining placements. Dana talked a lot about the importance of maintaining placements in the foster care system to preserve and heal attachments and attachment related concerns. In the families we have worked with, Nurturing Families has helped us do exactly that. So when families invest in this program, I really liked, I think it was Carrie that said yesterday, families have to be ready. That is the truth, right? So when families are ready, when they invest in this program, so much of that is us coming alongside them committing, us committing, and all of us working together to run this program. They feel equipped to meet the kiddos placed in their home where their kids are at, do the hard work of bonding and attaching the way this program teaches through so many of the lessons, and help their kiddos learn the skills to healthier functioning so that the placements don't break down and issues don't compound on themselves. We also run it to give them tools, right? I think this whole program is filled, and I'm so excited to hear that we're adding more tools to what we have, to work with families. When your first experience in parenting is having a 3, 7, 12, 17-year-old dropped off at your house with very few belongings, not a lot of information about what they've been through or what they've experienced, there's going to be conflict, right? Many foster and adoptive families in this situation are either parenting for the first time or they're doing a very different form of parenting than they have done previously if they have their biological kiddos. And we want to recognize that. And so from the first moment of contact, we talked earlier about that phone call, I'm letting the families know they are the experts, right? I'm not going to come in and tell them, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that, but I'm coming in and I'm telling them, hey, this program will change your life, but you have to want it and you have to meet me and we have to work together, right, to achieve that. It's our job as facilitators running the Nurturing Families program to be a bridge for that conflict and help these parents and kiddos learn to speak each other's language. I feel like this gives a common language, and when we can, we bring the kiddos in so that way we're doing it all together. Sometimes we teach the parents and we empower them to teach the kiddos. And a lot of times our home practice assignments reflect that. It reflects those parents working with their kids in the home during the week between sessions and teaching them the common language that this program gives.
I will be presenting today about nurturing families and justice impacted youth. So my name is Bertha Miramontes, and I'm the program director here at Moses House Ministries. I've always felt that my calling was to help children, so I became a teacher. Very logical. I am a credentialed teacher here in California. I taught for 12 years, kinder through 5th grade, and I loved it. I decided to become a stay-at-home mom, and I left my career to do that, which was a great plan until my son's father decided to start a new family when my son was 5 months old. And so I came to Moses House looking for diapers and just help. I had no job, I had a new baby, and I was a single mom. And so my director always jokes that, have you found the diapers? It's been 13 years. But I just fell in love with it. At that time, it was Nurturing Parenting program. I fell in love with it. I just loved it. And because of my background, I was able to come on as a staff member. And so I was a facilitator for Nurturing Parenting for 8 years. And the last 3 years, I've been a facilitator and trainer for Nurturing Families. and I am now the program director here at Moses House. So I love the program, and I use it daily for my biggest accomplishment, which is my son Israel. And so today we'll be talking about justice impacted youth. I'll go over what Moses House is, and the program that we're working with, the Arise program. I can't teach you how to do empathy because you do this every day with your own family. So we're going to go over how we present it in these facilities, and then we'll have some testimonies and some results. Okay, so this program for us is fairly new program. We started it over a year ago at our local youth detention center, where we go and we facilitate nurturing family program. It is open to fathers and future fathers, and these young men are about 15 to 21 years of age, and they're incarcerated for severe crimes. So they will do 3 to 4 or 5 years plus in these facilities. And so we have one that he just turned 21 last week. We celebrated him, but he's been in there since he was 16. So it's long term. And you know, for the fathers that are in there, some of them have not ever even met their children, because they've been in there for so long, and they have little to no contact with them. You know, some don't have the best relationship with the mothers. And so we really try to go in there and just give them a different perspective. I've always said that nurturing families is not just for parents. It's for any relationship. It could work for, you know, family members, your spouses, the stranger on the street that, you know, cuts you off. It works for anyone. And so we're really implementing this, and we were excited because we thought we can give these kids a different perspective. So we have a good rapport with them, and that's what's important. The correctional officers, like I said, we partner with them. So here's a testimony with one of them. It says, one of the better classes offered in the program, the youth are taking in the information and engaging with each other. We see the impact of changing mindsets and implementing nurturing skills. And so in the facility, we always have to have 2 correction officers with us, because at the end of the day, there's safety concerns, obviously. And we pass extensive background checks to be able to be in there. And so, you know, working with the correction officers on what are the issues, what's going on. Sometimes they'll come in and say, hey, we're having a hard time with so-and-so. You think you can talk to them? And we're able to do that, which is great. The correction officers actually join the classes.
I like to nurture family classes. I like learning about empathy. I think about how I can think about other situations and put myself into them. I can try to feel how people feel about certain things. I think some of this could help me now in my situation and when I have a family of my own. It shows me how to raise a future adult into a person who could be on his or her own and not make the same mistake I did. I like this group. It is one of my favorites that I have taken in Arise because the ongoing conversations and how the instructors are so interactive with us and make us think, and how we always hear funny dad jokes from Matt. This is a good class for everyone.
And some more testimony here. We have Andrew saying, and I'm just going to read these because I can't do anything else but read them. It says, learning to let go of things in my past and changing. It will help to stop hanging around people I used to hang around and get me in trouble. Andrew's looking at being released in December here. That's his biggest concern. Hanging out with the same people that got him there. And so working with him on getting supports outside. He is not a dad. And so he's just like, I don't want to come back here. Jabari says, I look forward to being a generational changer in my family, right? Making that change. He says that there hasn't been a father in their life in about 6 to 7 generations. And so that is his number one goal, is to be that change and be there. He goes, not just for me, but I want to be there for my nieces and nephews, and my cousins. And so it's a big task, but we encourage him. It's like, you can do that. You definitely can do that. Nehemiah says, I appreciate the class because there are no right or wrong answers. It's about perspective and learning new things involved with parenting. I've learned to let my daughter have an opinion no matter what, right? So he has a daughter that is 3 years old. And so again, he tries to have communication with her mom, and she's actually taking our classes here now. So they're learning the same thing. So hopefully when he gets out, and if they do come together, they have that information and they have that support together. And through the program, we're able to get diapers for the little girl and different things so that he can supply what he needs from in there. So we give him the credit and we say, hey, this is from Nehemiah. These are his points. You can shop at our store and get what you need. And so for her, it's really established that he's doing something for the family. And then we have Sergio. I learned what empathy really is, how to model empathy as well as recognize and deal with non-empathetic behaviors. And so he cracks me up because he's like, there's so many uneducated people here. He's like, I deal with them all the time. And I'm like, okay, so be a leader, right? And try to change that. He said, I thought how I grew up was normal, but now I see how it affected my life. I can use these skills to be the best version of myself for me and the ones I love.